where the road will lead. What do I have to offer that you can learn from me? But still I'm confident somehow that as I kneel before you now, you see my heart and calm my deepest fear. As if God himself has whispered in my ear, now all is well.
Now all is well.
All is well.
Now all is well.
God loved us enough to give himself. Now all is well.
Now all is well.
All is well.
Now all is well.
Let us celebrate the child Emmanuel. Now all is well.
All is well.
All is well. Now all is well. All is well. All is well. All is well.
That was so beautiful, Grandpa. The little Jesus with his mother Mary and Joseph.
Yes, and I remember when you were born, you looked real cute. There was so much celebration at home. Your grandmother was so happy, she just couldn't contain herself. And your father and mother, they were overjoyed.
Really, Grandpa?
And all the neighbors, they brought all sorts of food and clothes and gifts.
Wow, I never knew that. But tell me, Grandpa, did Jesus receive any gifts?
Oh yes, I almost forgot. You see, there were these wise men from a faraway land, and they had seen the star, and they knew that a king was going to be born, and they were eager to see him.
Wise men?
Yes, they were like kings, very rich. But when they came to Jerusalem, and they went to the palace of King Herod, and they wanted to ask about the whereabouts of this child. But Herod didn't have a clue. In fact, Herod was really furious about the whole thing. You see, he thought of himself as a great king, and he couldn't bear the thought of another king in the land.
Give it up for the king. Herod, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod. Now Herod the king is real big time, better than the best, yeah, kind of outshine. Now don't get confused between common and the dude, 'cause Herod is cool, and I tell you he rules. Give it up for the king. Busy with the king, A to Z, now Jonathan will sing. Herod, you're great, now that we shake. Now one more time for the old time's sake. Give it up for the king. Herod, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod, yeah, give it up for the king. Herod.
The court of His Majesty, King Herod of Judea, is now in session.
What is the business of the day?
Your Majesty, there are some wise men from the far east. They seek an audience with Your Majesty.
Show them in. Where do you come from, and what do you seek?
Your Majesty, King Herod, we have traveled a great distance from a far eastern province. We've been following a star. The prophecies foretell a king's birth, King of the Jews and King of kings. We have come to worship Him.
King of the Jews, did you say? But they are a conquered people and have no king. But tell me more. In fact, I myself would like to worship this king. Why don't you stay at my palace for a few more days? We could then search him together.
We must humbly decline your gracious offer, but we have to find this king. We have to search the scripture carefully to determine the exact place he is. Yes, we must continue on our journey.
But of course you must. But promise me, you will let me know when you find this king. I want to worship him too.
Surely, Your Majesty.
As soon as